I think the shared foundational violence is to create racial citizenship, to kind of further affix race to the nation state by creating categories of citizens and non-citizens, which again reproduce uh, particular social hierarchies, right? Like the idea of who's a good immigrant in itself is also so loaded. The idea of who's a good immigrant often relies on proximity to whiteness, is written through anti-Black, anti-Indigenous violence, is often connected to proximity to caste, is connected to assumptions of being educated, having a post-secondary education, speaking English, contributing to the so-called wage economy, which is inherently ableist and classist. Often means people who don't have a criminal record, which again works overwhelmingly in, for example, the North American context against Black and Latinx migrants and refugees. So even the idea of who's a good immigrant maintains a hierarchical social ordering that reinforces other kinds of social oppression, right? Mm-hmm. And so these are the violences of borders, is to create categories of citizens and non-citizens, to create categories of good immigrants and bad immigrants, and to maintain, I think, more than anything, a system of global apartheid, right? Like one of the main ways in which the global North continues to maintain its level of wealth, its level of privilege, is extraction and exploitation of the global South, right? In addition to extraction and exploitation within its borders, it really is a relationship between the North and the South. The global North and South are not, they're not geographies, right? It's not about the Northern Hemisphere, the Southern Hemisphere. The North has been created. The global South only exists in relationship to the global North, in relationship to histories of imperialism and colonialism that are ongoing. And even the global South has hierarchies within it, right? India is an emerging and has been a colonial power, as increasingly an imperialist power. And borders are one of the ways in which these differences are maintained, by saying certain people belong somewhere else and can't live, in the so-called global North. One of the main determinations of life expectancy is where you're born in the world, right? Like it's literally a matter of how long you will live, is contingent on where you're born in the world. It's not the only factor, of course, but it's one of them. And so borders maintain this system of global apartheid that maintains asymmetries of power in the world.